Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Welcome back to another edition of John Ammo's Archives, exclusively here on YouTube. So John Ammo got to thinking these last couple weeks, being that he is making so much money on the football games. He figured he would share his expertise and his picks with you for the upcoming week of football. Now, there are a couple things to keep in mind before I share my picks with you. The first thing is, obviously, I bet with a bookie, so we bet with the spreads. It's not just about who wins the football game, although I will tell you that as well. But keep in mind, like for example, I picked the Giants to beat the Seahawks last week, but I picked the Seahawks to cover the spread. I picked a 17-16 ball game. Shows you what I know. So, even though I was right as far as the Giants winning the game, I lost the bet because they didn't ultimately they didn't cover the spread. The Seahawks didn't cover the spread. So, it's a little bit more challenging than obviously just picking winners or losers. That's pretty easy, although you could bet like that. You can't win as much money, but you could parlay it and actually do pretty good. Now, John Ammo's philosophy when it comes to betting, and he does this every year, he starts out small in the first week of football, maybe with like $100 or $200, and he'll split that $100 up, let's say, 5 different ways in $20 bets on parlays, though. So the payouts on all these parlays are about $250, $300. So all he has to do is sit on one of these parlays. So let's say on the first week of football, just one of them, and I double or triple my money. Now I go into the next week and I build up my pot a little bit more. So my bets as the season goes on get increasingly larger and larger. And last year, I'll be honest with you, I actually lost all my money the last couple weeks of football. Lost all my winnings. So I didn't lose any money. I just lost all my winnings. But the year before that, I tapped out at, probably $5,000 at the end of the year. I did really good a couple of years ago. So I had the ball rolling the last couple weeks. I've been winning some money. So again, I figured I would share this with you. Now, one more thing to keep in mind is that second half bets are huge. So, for example, this last week of football, I was getting killed on like almost all my bets. And it actually took some really clever second half bets, and I hit on like 3 of them. And, I wound up making a couple $100 this weekend. So the key is, you got to know what's going on in the football games. You can't just watch it on the internet. You got to have to know the weather, who's injured. Fortunately, John Ammo has the Sunday ticket, so I basically watch every game that there is. So I'm pretty knowledgeable as to what's going on around the league. That being said, and so just keep in mind, second half bets are key. So if you do wind up listening to me on any of the bets that I say, God forbid, keep in mind that, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. Monday Night Football 2 Mondays ago, it was the Broncos versus it was the Steelers versus the Jaguars, I believe. The Ravens against the Steelers, I'm sorry. And I won the first half bet. I had the Ravens plus 13, and I had the under. And then I wound up winning that bet. And the second half, anticipating that the Steelers might come back, I took the Steelers because they were down by 10 minus 4.5, because if they're going to tie up the game, they're obviously going to cover the 4.5 and the over. So I actually wound up winning twice in one bet on Monday Night Football. So that being said, let's move on to the picks. This Sunday, the first game, you got the Raiders at the Saints, 47-point over-under. The Saints are minus 7.5. I got the Saints 34, the Raiders 20. I really like the Saints to cover the 7.5 spread, and I'm staying away from the over-under. Okay, Colts the Ravens at the Colts. This is a hot game for you. This is a John Ammo's hot pick. Colts minus 4.5. I like them. I like them to win by a touchdown, 28-21. The over/under is 39. I like the over in this game. I like the Colts big time in the over. That's a lock of the week almost. The Bengals at the Jets. The Jets giving up 6 points. The over-under is 44.5. I like the Bengals plus the 6 points. The Bengals cover their points against the Cowboys. Bengals cover the points against the Giants. I think the Jets will win 21-17, but I like the Bengals to keep it close. And I also like the under, big time, 44.5. It's too many points for these teams. Panthers at the Bucks. I got the Bucks winning 20-17. The Bucks are giving 1 point. 36.5 is the over/under. The only way I would touch this game, I would probably stay away from that game. That's a stay away game. Lions at the Vikings. The Vikings are giving 13 points. That's too many points for an NFL team. The Vikings haven't done anything to deserve a 13-point spread. 45.5 is the over/under. I like the Lions plus the 13 points. The Bears at the Falcons. I have the Bears winning 16-10. They're giving 3 points, so they will cover that spread. However, I would stay away from this game. 43.5 is the over/under. I'm betting on the under in this game only. I will stay away from the line. That's kind of a stay away game. Another stay away game. The Dolphins are getting 3 points against the Texans. I like the Texans to win by a field goal, 20-23. 44.5 is the over/under. Stay away from that game. It's ugly. You don't know what's going to happen. Miami and Houston, who knows? The Rams at the Redskins. The Redskins are giving 13.5 points. 45.5 is the over/under. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I think anytime the spread gets anywhere above 12, 13 points, 16 points, when it was the Bengals against the Cowboys, anytime this happens, an NFL team, unless you're the New England Patriots of last year or the Redskins were a little bit more proven this year, 13.5 points is too many points. I do like the Redskins to win 31-21. However, the Rams will cover the 13.5-point spread. I like the Rams. I also like the over in that game, so I'm going to take the Rams in the over. I don't have a score for the Jaguars-Broncos. It's the Broncos giving 3.5 points. 48.5 is the over/under. I'm staying away from that game. When this kind of thing happens, John Ammo goes with the home team, but he's not betting on the game. Eagles will beat the Niners 28-24 in San Francisco. However, the point spread is 5. Stay away from that game. The Eagles are too streaky the last couple weeks. Besides, I don't like betting on my football team. I do love the over, though. 42.5 points. The over I will be betting on. The over all day on the Eagles game. Over, over, over. The Cowboys are getting 5 points at the Cardinals. The over-under is 50. I like the Cowboys 34-28, and I like the over. I'm not really that impressed with the Cowboys this year, to be honest with you. The Arizona Cardinals are a train wreck, so the Dallas Cowboys should be able to cover that spread. And Kurt Warner's fumbles and interceptions alone are good for 21 points. Got to move fast. I love this game. Packers, Seahawks. Seahawks giving 2. I love the Packers. They're going to win 24-13. Over-under is 47 points. I love the under. The Patriots are getting 5.5 points against the Chargers. Love the Patriots. Think the Patriots are going to out-and-out win the game 24-21. Over-under is 45. Stay away from the over-under. I like the Pats plus the points. Monday Night Football, Giants 28, Browns 17. Giants are getting 7.5 points. 43.5 or 43 points is the over-under. I would probably stay away from that game. If you were going to touch it, I'd probably go with the Giants to cover the spread, but I would probably stay away from that game. So anyway, that is my picks. Remember, now if these picks don't come through in the first half, be ready, willing, and able to make those quick second half picks, second half bets, because that's where you can win a lot of your money as well. So this is John Ammo reporting to you from the archives. I'm going to try to do this every week. I'll update you after the game, see where we're at, and I'll be back later in the week. Thanks for watching the archives.